The complete history of Germany, from prehistory to modern superpower. Long before a nation called Germany existed, the lands of Central Europe were already home to human communities. Archaeological evidence shows that early hunter-gatherers inhabited the forests, river valleys, and plains of what is now Germany tens of thousands of years ago. As the last ice age gradually receded around 10,000 BCE, Mesolithic peoples adapted to warming climates, followed by Neolithic farmers who introduced agriculture, domesticated animals, pottery, and permanent settlements. Over the following millennia, Bronze Age and Iron Age cultures emerged. By the final centuries before the Common Era, Central Europe had developed a broad cultural division. Celtic tribes dominated southern and western regions, while Germanic tribes, who had gradually migrated south from Scandinavia, occupied the northern plains. These Germanic peoples did not form a single nation, but instead consisted of many tribes such as the Cherusci, Suebi, Lombards, Saxons, and Goths, each with their own leaders and traditions. Rome and the Germanic world. In the 1st century BCE, the Roman Republic expanded northward under generals such as Julius Caesar. Roman armies encountered Germanic tribes east of the Rhine River and referred to their homeland as Germania. While Rome successfully conquered Gaul, attempts to subjugate Germania met fierce resistance. The defining moment came in 9 CE when a coalition of Germanic tribes led by Arminius ambushed 3 Roman legions in the Teutoburg forest. The annihilation of these forces shocked Rome and permanently altered imperial strategy. Rome abandoned plans to conquer Germania and instead fortified its frontier along the Rhine and Danube rivers, constructing defensive systems known as the Limes Germanicus. Roman influence still reached parts of western and southern Germany. Cities such as Cologne, Mainz, Trier, and Regensburg began as Roman settlements. Trade, military service, and cultural exchange introduced Roman technology, architecture, and writing. Yet most Germanic communities remained rural, organized around clans, warrior elites, and pagan religious traditions centered on gods such as Woden, Odin, Thor, and Frey. The migration period and the fall of Rome. During the late 4th century CE, a massive wave of migrations reshaped Europe. The arrival of the Huns from Central Asia triggered chain reactions as Germanic tribes moved west and south into Roman territory. Visigoths, Ostrogoths, Vandals, Franks, Lombards, and others carved out kingdoms inside the crumbling Western Roman Empire. Rome itself was sacked in 410 CE by the Visigoths, and by 476 CE, the last Western Roman emperor was deposed. Former Roman provinces across Europe became Germanic-ruled kingdoms that blended Roman administration, Christian religion, and Germanic warrior traditions. Among these, the Frankish kingdom proved most significant for the future of Germany. The rise of the Franks and Charlemagne. The Franks under King Clovis I converted to Christianity around 500 CE and built a powerful kingdom covering modern France and Western Germany. Over the following centuries, Frankish rulers expanded their realm and strengthened ties with the Catholic Church. The greatest Frankish ruler was Charlemagne, Charles the Great, who reigned from 768 to 814 CE. Through relentless military campaigns, Charlemagne conquered the Saxons, subdued Bavaria, defeated the Lombards in Italy, and expanded his empire across much of Western and Central Europe. On Christmas Day in the year 800, Charlemagne was crowned emperor by Pope Leo III in Rome. This act symbolically revived the idea of a Western Roman Empire and laid the ideological foundations for what later became known as the Holy Roman Empire. East Francia and the birth of Germany. After Charlemagne's death, his grandsons divided the empire in 843 CE through the Treaty of Verdun. The eastern portion, called East Francia, roughly corresponds to modern Germany. In 919 CE, German nobles elected Henry the Fowler as king, marking the emergence of a distinctly German monarchy. His son, Otto I, or Otto the Great, strengthened royal authority, defeated the Magyar invaders at the Battle of Lechfeld in 955, and was crowned Holy Roman Emperor in 962 CE. Otto's reign established the political framework of medieval Germany, a German king who also held the imperial title. The Holy Roman Empire, a fragmented realm. Despite its grand name, the Holy Roman Empire was not a unified nation-state. It was a loose federation of duchies, counties, bishoprics, and free cities, all owing nominal loyalty to the emperor. Powerful rulers such as Frederick Barbarossa and Frederick II attempted to strengthen imperial authority, but regional princes steadily gained autonomy. The Golden Bull of 1356 formalized an electoral system in which 7 prince-electors chose the emperor. During the Middle Ages, German lands flourished culturally and economically. Gothic cathedrals rose, universities were founded, and merchant leagues such as the Hanseatic League dominated Baltic trade. At the same time, German settlers migrated eastward into Slavic regions, shaping the demographic and cultural landscape of Central and Eastern Europe. The Protestant Reformation. In 1517, Martin Luther published his 95 Theses criticizing corruption within the Catholic Church. His ideas spread rapidly thanks to the printing press, invented decades earlier by Johannes Gutenberg in Mainz. The Reformation split Germany along religious lines. Northern and eastern regions became predominantly Protestant, while southern and western areas remained Catholic. Religious tensions erupted into decades of conflict, culminating in the 30 Years' War, 1618 to 1648. This catastrophic struggle devastated German lands, killing millions and destroying entire regions. The Peace of Westphalia ended the war and confirmed the political fragmentation of Germany. Austria versus Prussia. By the 18th century, 2 German states emerged as dominant powers. Austria, ruled by the Habsburg dynasty, and Prussia, ruled by the Hohenzollerns. Under Frederick the Great, Prussia transformed into a highly efficient military state. Through wars against Austria and other European powers, Prussia gained territory and prestige, becoming a recognized great power. German cultural life flourished during this era. Thinkers such as Immanuel Kant, writers like Goethe and Schiller, and composers such as Bach and Mozart shaped European intellectual history. Napoleon and the end of the Holy Roman Empire. The French Revolution and the rise of Napoleon Bonaparte shattered the old European order. Napoleon defeated Austrian and Prussian armies and reorganized Germany into the Confederation of the Rhine. In 1806, the Holy Roman Empire was dissolved, ending an institution that had existed for 1,000 years. Napoleon's domination awakened German nationalism. After Napoleon's defeat in 1813, German states formed the German Confederation, a loose association of 39 states. The road to unification. Liberal revolutions in 1848 demanded constitutional government and national unity, but ultimately failed. Prussia took the lead under Otto von Bismarck, who pursued unification through blood and iron. He orchestrated 3 wars: against Denmark in 1864, against Austria in 1866, and against France in 1770 to 1771. After defeating France, German princes proclaimed King Wilhelm I of Prussia as German emperor in January 1871. Germany was finally unified. The German Empire. The new empire rapidly industrialized and became one of the world's leading economic powers. Bismarck introduced social welfare programs and maintained a cautious foreign policy aimed at preserving peace. After Bismarck's dismissal in 1890, Kaiser Wilhelm II pursued aggressive global ambitions, including naval expansion and colonialism. These policies increased tensions with other great powers. World War I and defeat. In 1914, alliance obligations and escalating crises plunged Europe into World War I. Germany fought on two fronts and initially achieved major successes. However, prolonged trench warfare, resource shortages, and American entry into the war turned the tide. In November 1918, Germany collapsed. The Kaiser abdicated, and Germany became a republic. The Treaty of Versailles imposed territorial losses, military restrictions, and massive reparations, generating bitterness and resentment. The Weimar Republic and the Nazi rise. The Weimar Republic struggled with political extremism, hyperinflation, and later the Great Depression. Adolf Hitler and the Nazi Party exploited public anger, promising national revival, economic recovery, and revenge against Versailles. In 1933, Hitler became chancellor and quickly established a totalitarian dictatorship. Nazi Germany and World War II. Hitler rearmed. Germany annexed Austria and parts of Czechoslovakia and invaded Poland in 1939, starting World War II. German forces conquered much of Europe, but the regime's racial ideology led to the Holocaust, the systematic murder of 6 million Jews, along with millions of other victims. From 1942 onward, Germany suffered catastrophic defeats. In May 1945, Germany surrendered unconditionally. Division and the Cold War. Germany was divided into occupation zones. In 1949, West Germany became a democratic capitalist state. East Germany became a communist dictatorship under Soviet control. The Berlin Wall, built in 1961, symbolized this division. Reunification and modern Germany. In 1989, mass protests led to the fall of the Berlin Wall. In 1990, Germany was reunified. Since then, Germany has become Europe's largest economy and a central political force within the European Union. Conclusion. Germany's history is a story of fragmentation, transformation, catastrophe, and renewal. From tribal beginnings to imperial ambition, from dictatorship to democracy, Germany has repeatedly reinvented itself. Today, Germany stands as a stable democratic nation, deeply shaped by the lessons of its past and committed to peaceful cooperation.